Hello everybody, this is Jared, the non-alcoholic aficionado, and I've got 3 spiritless, non-alcoholic cocktails to test out today. We've got the Margarita, the Old Fashioned, and the Whiskey Sour. Let's start with the Whiskey Sour. It's pretty cool what the Spiritless brand is doing. They have 3 non-alcoholic cocktails and 3 main spiritless NA spirits. They have the bourbon, the whiskey that is spiced, and the tequila. Let's start off tasting this spiritless whiskey sour. Give it a little pour into the tiny tulip glass. Give it a shot. Start with the smell. It smells like whiskey. It smells a little sweet, little maybe hints of like honey. Cheers. I may be committing a cardinal sin by not putting this over ice, but with the tiny glass and the 3 beverages I wanted to test out in a row, it made sense to have them in a tiny glass, no ice. All right, so it's definitely putting out vibes of bourbon, kind of whiskey, tanginess, a little smoky. The sweetness from the kind of, I guess, the sour mix components are there. It does have some sugar added, some natural flavors, some other preservatives and whatnot, but for the most part, you're getting that non-alcoholic spirit mixed with some flavoring to give you that whiskey sour taste. Cheers, let's try it again. I was never a big whiskey drinker when I drank alcohol, but from what I can recall with mixed drinks that I would have had, you know, 4 to 6 years ago when I did drink, it's pretty good. It's got a lot of flavor going for it. It might be better over ice. I've had it over ice before and it's good, but like I said, we're using a tiny glass today. All right, next up, we have the Spiritless Old Fashioned. Give that a look-see. This one also recommended over ice, tiny glass, not gonna do that. Should be noted as well that I received these as samples after having a cool conversation with the head of sales from Spiritless. Really cool organization. They're pushing the boundaries of non-alcoholic spirits and mixed drinks, and I'm excited to see where it goes. They've got some pretty ambitious plans to continue growing their business. All right, the Old Fashioned also says it comes made with the distilled non-alcoholic spirit Kentucky 74. That's their go-to bourbon whiskey spirit. Let's try it out. Old Fashioned. Cheers. It smells a little less sweet, a little bit more like bourbon. Definitely, you taste the bourbon over the sweetness versus that whiskey sour. It's almost kind of subdued in a way. There's not a lot of flavor jumping out into my face at the moment. I do like it though. It has a bit of a smokiness to it. I don't know if that's supposed to be the case, but that's what I'm getting out of it. And from what I can remember, having had the NA Spirit by itself, this is really just kind of adding a bit of sweetness, a little smokiness, some, I guess, I don't think there's really many other ingredients going on. It's just pretty basic. I don't think an Old Fashioned is meant to have a lot going on. So it is matching that fairly well then. Cheers, let's finish it off. I do like that one. I think I like the whiskey sour better. And I failed. Again, I'm really bad at this lately. Gotta give these some ratings. Whiskey sour is gonna get a 3 out of 5. I would buy it at full price. That's the rating for a 3 out of 5. And here we have it, the Old Fashioned. The Old Fashioned is gonna get a 2 out of 5. It's a little bit more subdued, like I mentioned. I like the whiskey sour because it's got a little bit more of that flavor coming from maybe the extra levels of sweetness that are added, a little flavor. But the Old Fashioned is good. It's just a little bit more subdued, like I said. All right, and finally, we have the Spiritless Margarita. It is made with Jalisco 55 distilled non-alcoholic spirit, which I also have and I've tasted, and it's quite good. Sometimes when I drink these, I take a little bit of extra spirit and I put it in the mixture so it juices it up a little bit. That's a secret hack when it comes to the Spiritless brand, so maybe don't tell anybody. Pour it out. All right, Spiritless Margarita. I would have to say one of my favorite mixed drinks or cocktails or whatever you want to call it back in the day when I did consume standard alcoholic beverages was a margarita. So when I tried this, when I saw it and heard that it was coming my direction with the samples from the Spiritless brand, I was very excited. And it is, I won't tell you how it is yet, but you'll see. Cheers. I don't know if that's agave. It might be an agave smell. It smells like tequila. It smells sweet. Let's try it out. Yeah, it tastes a little bit like a lime flavor, which lends nicely to what you'd expect from a margarita. A little sweet, a little sour. There's not a strong bite. That's one thing I wish that the Spiritless brand would have a little bit more, outside of the cinnamon whiskey, was that kind of a little bit of the burn. I don't know if they could do that with like capsaicin or some type of ingredient that would give it that kick that you might expect with a standard alcoholic spirit. But I know that's part of what alcohol does, is it gives you that enhancement of the mouthfeel and the experience. So it's okay to not have that, to not have to have the alcohol. Cheers again. I do like this. I like it a lot. Also similar ingredients. It's got the distilled non-alcoholic spirit, some sugar, flavoring, and preservatives, basically. That's all it is. So we're getting a good experience out of these three Spiritless NA cocktails. This one is gonna get a 2 out of 5. I only say that because it doesn't really have as much, it's not as well-rounded as the whiskey sour. I like this one because it's sweet, it's got the flavor of the whiskey, and just a little bit more well-rounded. So, but I do like this a lot. Give it another cheers. Cheers. And with that 2 out of 5, it would be a buy on sale. So we will be doing a review of the Spiritless NA spirits. I have the whiskey, Cinnamon Spice whiskey, I have the tequila, and I have the bourbon. So try to get those into a mixture of cocktails in the future. I don't know when, because I'm not a cocktail connoisseur, but eventually we'll get to them. I'll keep them on hand just so I have the ability to make the cocktails. Well, there you have it. We have the whiskey sour, which I would rank number 1, the old fashioned number 2, margarita number 3. That's how I would rate the 3 of these. I really like them. I like the idea of having a NA spirit derived non-alcoholic cocktail. It really gives you that experience of having a more heavy-handed, alcohol-driven or based cocktail without having to deal with the side effects of the alcohol. So good stuff. Thank you to the Spiritless brand for sending these my way. I really appreciate it. I love the opportunity to test out new things on my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, you can do so by clicking the link up over here. And if you want to see previous videos from a playlist for Go Brewing, one of my favorite brands, there's a playlist right over here. Appreciate everybody's time for watching today. Have a good one.